Hi guys, welcome to Learn How To, and in my last video we were looking at basic isometric drawing, following on from our cube and starting to learn how to draw slightly more complex shapes. As you can see, we did the cube, we did the cuboid tower, and we did the cuboid block with the part removed at the bottom, a bit like a C shape or a bridge. Okay, today then we're going to move on. I'm going to try a few more complicated shapes, so building on the last one that we did here. I'm just going to put these ones to the side, and on my next sheet, as you can see, I've just drawn a little cube at the top there just to remind ourselves of the principles. So again, if you can remember from the beginning, we always start with the front corner of the shape. That principle stays the same always, never changes. Bottom two lines, left and right, making the bird's foot or the arrow. And then we put in the side verticals and the tops to make the open book. And then we put in the back corners, edges. Okay, so today I'm going to have a little look at doing an L shape. Okay, start to produce some sort of letters, I suppose, and some of the more complicated shapes with extra surfaces. Okay, so let's start with the L shape. So again, we're going to start with the front corner. Okay, so we're going to, again, think about where it's positioned on the page. We don't want it to run off the edge. So I'm going to come in a little bit here. I'll start there. And I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's go 15. Join our front corner together. There we go. Just make that a little bit heavier so you can see it on camera. Okay, and we'll go 1, 2, let's just keep it 3 triangles this way. So our line to the left is going to be 3. And then the long side of our L shape, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, let's go 10. Okay, so as we had when we did the first cube, same again, but the downward facing arrow or bird's foot, and our short depth, and our width, and our vertical height. Okay, so bring up the outer vertices now. So if our front corner was 15, we're going to do the same with this left one. 15, mark it, down the straight line, and then we decide on how many we're going to go up. Now, because I'm leaving the depth as 3, I'm going to leave the height on this corner the same, 3. Okay, so obviously this is changing direction on this shape a little bit, so we need to just think about where the lines are going to be going. So we would normally finish the front face first. It's usually, I like to do that first because that's easier to create the shape that we're going to have, and then put in any other finishing corners at the end. Now obviously we can't construct the top yet because we haven't got this side in for the L shape. So it'd be best to start over here and bring this line back to where we need to take it up for this corner. Okay, now we said at the beginning that we were going to leave 3 for the depth, and I've left 3 for the thickness of the L shape. So if we bring this line along until we're left with 3 triangles, okay, that will leave us the thickness the same. Okay, so we can now put in this line here. That then gives us a corner here in which we can do the vertical for the other side of the tower part, okay, of the L. And it's 12 high. We just take it as high as it needs to go to run into the line that connects. And put that one in. And then we can finish our sort of open book shape on this left column or tower. And connect these two together. Okay, Okay, hopefully you're following this okay. And as you can see, now you can finish off the top of the tower, taking these corners here, back 3, and the same for the other one. And if you can get into the habit of always drawing from the finished corner first, and take your lines from those, that will be the correct way. Always draw out from the corner, not from an open space. Okay, so you've got your tower drawn. Just got to finish off the bottom of the L shape now. So we've also got a corner down here. We know that the depth of the shape is 3 triangles, so we're going to count 1, 2, 3. Can now draw that in. And the remaining line just needs to extend back until it hits the side of the tower. Along that line now. So therefore you can see we've now got our L shape. All that remains for us to do is to do our thick and thin line technique. So we're going to outline any line that needs to be thick where there's only one surface attached. This is most of the outside lines. And this line coming down here, again, it's going to be thick all the way down because we can only see this surface here. There's nothing connected, even though we can see this in the way here, it's sort of in the view, it's not actually connected, this part here, it's not connected to that surface. So it remains thick. Okay, and if we look at this line here, this one would remain thin because we can see the top of this surface and this surface connected to it. Okay. Just going to go around those a bit more. Make sure they're definitely looking thicker than the pencil lines. Sometimes it's a bit hard to see on camera. I'll just make them a little bit wider. Okay, so you can clearly see there the difference in the line weighting. Okay, let's move on to another shape now. What shall we do next? Let's do a letter H. That's quite complicated. So if you think about a letter H, it's sort of got 2 towers, 2 columns left and right with a piece that sort of divides in the middle. Okay, so let's do this one down the bottom here. Okay, so similar to the L shape, we'll keep the size pretty much the same for the thickness. We'll keep it 3 triangles. Make sure we go back to our pencil. Start about here. Okay, so front corner first of all. So if you imagine the H as a 3D shape, do the first tower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go 15 high for that corner. Again, you can make your height as whatever you want. Okay, 1, 2, 3 wide. And the first column is going to be 1, 2, 3. But then we need to think about the other side of the H as well. So we're going to have a gap. I'm going to keep it the same, just to keep it uniform. 1, 2, 3. And then start and continue my other side of my tower for the right side there. So 3. So we can see we've got our front downward facing arrow, or bird's foot as I call it. Can now bring in the sides. So it's 15 up again. should run into that corner along that line, so that's right. Okay, same with the opposite side first before we connect up the tops. Again, check see if it runs into that one. Yes, it does. And then we can put in any tops that we need. So same like we did at the bottom. Needs to come out 3. Leave a gap of 3 and connect from this corner back 3. Okay. From there, you can then put in the top. Okay. So we're now going to connect in this corner. So we've got to make it look like the open book. And the back corner. And running along the back edge, it's going to be pretty much the same. But remember, don't forget that you don't draw the line straight across. It's got to have the gap between it. So it's going to be 3 with a gap of 1, 2, 3, and then connecting from this corner back 3. Okay. Right, now, as I've said before, it's probably easier at this stage to draw in whatever the shape is on the front face. So we want to get that H shape drawn in and then project back the lines to make the 3D shape. Okay, it's always easier to do it that way. So again, I want to try and keep this fairly equal and symmetrical in terms of proportions. So I'm going to go from this corner at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. Same on this corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. And just connect those across. And then I'll do the same from the top as well, coming down from the top corners, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Connect them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then connect across the front face. Okay. Obviously, you can decide on sizes and widths and measurements for your shape. If you wanted to make that a little bit narrow, you could have done. Maybe we could have come in one more triangle, but I'm happy with that. Again, it gives it a little bit of depth in the middle there. Okay, so now we need to look at the top surfaces and where corners and lines need to connect. So at this stage, it's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, looking to see where things need to connect up. So if we finish the bottom first, because that's fairly easy, with only one line missing. So where we've got this corner at the bottom here, we need to take it back so it looks three-dimensional. Same angle as the front corner left-hand surface here. Here's another left-hand surface, so it's got to be exactly the same. Take it back 3. That looks correct now. Let's start with the top surfaces over here. We can see these two need connecting together, so we'll connect those two. And the opposite side of the tower, the right column there. And then we're looking for corners again to finish the shape. We know that this surface on this right side needs finishing. We can see that this corner needs to come down and it bangs into the line that's in line with the left column here, so that's fine. So we're just going to connect that down to there. Okay, and it's still not quite right, it's still something missing. So again, look for any internal corners. So when we talk about external, internal corners, this would be an external corner on the outside. This one here would be an internal corner where it is inside of the shape. Okay, and we're going to find that. And we know that we counted 3 for the thickness, so this has got to be 3 as well. And it's just going to bang into that side of that one there and just bring it across. So it now looks correct and complete. So back to the thickening and thinning. Same principles again. Any one surface connected to a line remaining thick. And 2 surfaces thin. one surface here. Again, just check, yeah, one surface there. And it's one surface all the way down there, because that's going to, it's not connected to anything. One surface here. One surface here. Okay, so check these. Two surfaces against that line. Two surfaces, that's thin. Two surfaces, that's thin. Okay. Now, this is interesting because this bit here, on this back corner, we said that was thick, which it is, because we can only see one surface here. But on this front surface, we've got this edge, but this bit isn't connected to anything. So that remaining part of that line there needs to stay thin, okay, because there's only one surface to the left of it. Okay. Sorry, said that wrong. One surface, so that remains thick. Get myself in a muddle sometimes when I'm talking about lines. So sorry, remind ourselves there. Yeah, so that's thick. This is the one where we've got two surfaces, so that remains thin. Two surfaces here, so that remains thin. Two surfaces here, thin. And the tops here also thin. It's going down to the bottom. Two surfaces here, thin. This one here, the over the bridge part of the H shape, again, we can only see one surface here. So this one has to be thick. Okay. Again, one surface here, nothing connected to these. So again, that one's going to be thick as well. Apologies for the slip up there. It sometimes gets a bit confusing when you're racing around a shape. So let's double check that then. So most of the outside edges are going to be thick lines, and anything where there's two surfaces by the side of each other or connected remaining thin. Yeah, happy with that. Okay, I think we've got room for two more shapes on this page. So let's move on to another shape. What shall we do next? Okay, let's do something with a hole in it. Okay, so we'll go back to a cuboid sort of shape. Let's do that one up here. And we'll start about there. Okay. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, let's go 8 high. And let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go 8 deep. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's go the 15 along the front edge. Okay, so downward facing arrow, front corner, done. We counted 8 high, so we're now going to count 8 high for the left corner, back corner, and the right corner. And now we can connect top edges together. That's what we call the open book, if we remember. And then we can look at our back corners here and here, remembering to take those along the isometric grid lines. finishing our cuboid shape. So we have our basic cuboid shape. Now, it's quite easy to put a hole in something. We could put one in the top here. Let's have a go at putting one in each side, and we'll just try changing the sizes of each one. So again, you decide where you want to start. Sometimes it's easier to keep the perimeter of the hole the same, just for when you're starting this as a first go. So let's come in 1, 2, 3 triangles, and 1, 2, 3 from the bottom edge. So let's start there. Okay, so again, because I'm drawing on the top surface, I haven't got any front corner. I don't need to do a vertical because it's flat. So I'm just going to do the left and the right. So I'm going to go 1, 2 left, because that leaves me then 3 triangles that side, just to keep it symmetrical. Let's join those 2 up, like so. And let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That then leaves me another 3 the other side. Okay, you can see that. Just keeping it balanced either side. Okay, so again, it's just like drawing a rectangle really. Got another corner here, so we're going to take that one back to the same as this end. We're drawing on the top surface, or what we would call the plan view, looking down on it. And connect them back together. Okay, so got our hole. Doesn't quite look finished though, so if anybody can spot what's missing, it's the back corner. So again, we're looking for an internal corner this time, which is this one. Okay, and we just need to bring that down. And obviously, how far that would go down into that shape is up to your imagination, but the only bit we can see physically on the paper is until it bangs into that front edge there. Okay, so that now makes it look correct. Let's have a go at putting another hole in. So let's do one in the middle of this front surface. So this time, I'm going to pick a starting point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, let's go in 5, and 2 up from the bottom to start with. And I'm going to draw onto sort of square straight sort of there. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll leave us the 5 because we did it 15 across, didn't we? Let's draw that one in first. And because it's on the front face, we need to go vertically now to make the square. Again, I'm going to leave, I think it's going to be more of a rectangle actually. If I'm going to leave 2, 4 up, slightly more rectangular. Leaving the 2 that side so it's the same. I'm going to count the 4 up this side from this corner. And then join the 2 across the top. And again, you're now looking for internal corners. Where does it need to be? Well, obviously I'm going to be able to see the bottom surface and this right side. So it's taking this internal corner here and taking it back to where it needs to go. So let's make this a little bit more complicated. Let's say it doesn't go in very far. Let's say it only goes back 2 triangles. So let's take that back 2 triangles. Okay, 2. I could have taken it right the way back, which would have left it going in quite deep. But to make it look more effective, if we wanted to be able to see the back surface, if it was just shallowed or recessed slightly, okay, or shallow cut out, let's try this way. So going back 2, you're now looking for the lines that go towards the left and the vertical. So from that corner, we're going to go up. That will bang into that one, and this one is going to come across here. Okay, now next we're going to put one last cut out on this left surface. Okay, so let's keep this one fairly equal if we can. Let's come in 2, just start there, and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, And 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that works out okay. Let's draw the bottom edge in first. Then our 2 sides. And then we're going to connect our top together. Okay, so a nice little square there. And this time, because we're on the what we call the opposite plane on the left-hand surface of the three-dimensional block, we need to look for where that internal corner is. So whereas on this surface it was on the right-hand side, on the left surface it's going to be on the left-hand side. Okay, so again, let's make it look like this one. Let's change it. Let's make it even shallower. Let's go in just 1 on this one and connect our corner first, and then we can take our vertical up and our horizontal down the isometric line. And there we have our three-dimensional cuboid with a number of holes punched out the sides. Okay, remaining task is our thickening and thinning. So again, just like the cube, the outer lines, or where there is only one surface connected, going to make this thick. Okay. And again, any inner lines, these ones should be thin because we've got 2 surfaces, 2 surfaces, 2 surfaces, and then we need to look at the holes, which are slightly different. So again, where there are 2 surfaces, I can physically see going around the corner of this one here, I can see the downward facing slope of this hollowed out section and the top surface, so that will remain thin. But on this side here, this left edge, I can see this surface on top, but it goes around the corner where I can't see a connected surface. So this little part here will be a thicker line. Okay. And the same for the front one. I can see this surface on the top, but I can't see what's connected around the other side. So there's a hollow space there. So this front edge would be a thicker line. Okay. All the others should be thin. 2 surfaces, thin. 2 surfaces connected, thin. 2 surfaces physically seen, thin. Okay. And then do the same with the other shapes, thinking about your surfaces. Okay. So physically can see those 2, physically can see those 2, can only see one here and not underneath, so this top edge is going to be thick. And the same for this left one here, I can only see to the left of that side. Okay, looking at this one, it's going to be the opposite way around, it's going to be this right one. And again, the top edge, because I can't see underneath. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that one. We're going to do one last shape now. And going to make this one a letter A. Okay. So, similar to the H, going to start with front corner. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Let's make this a big one. 20 high. Let's do 1, 2, 3. Go on, let's do 4 wide. Or 4 deep, shall I say? 4 deep. the width across here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 5, and let's leave a gap of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then joining those for each of the parts of the A for the left side and the right side. So that'll be the gap underneath the A. Again, putting your corners first. So again, count 15 up, should run in line with this one. Same for this side. Should be in line with that one. And then you can do your open book. So it's putting in this back corner here. That one can connect together. And then just for the top of the A, that's going to go all the way across. Okay, obviously we've got no curved edges on these shapes. These are all very square, angular 3D blocks because we're just practicing this point, simple, isometric. Okay, back corner on the right here can now go back. You've got your open book sort of shape. We haven't finished the front face just yet, but because the top surface has got no other detail or any hollowed out sections, it would make sense to finish this part first. Take the back corner line and connect these two together. So we can see we've got the basic cuboid shape. So it's just the front surface to finish to make it look like a letter A. And we've just got to decide where we're going to put our lines. So from the bottom gap here, starting this corner, need to put in the verticals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go 8 up. Connect that together. Okay, and it'll be the same this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then we can connect the top to make it like a bridge. And then we've just got the final hole for the A here. So again, it's going to be exactly in line with these corners. We've just got to balance it between the space that we've got here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go 4 in, and let's go 4 from the top too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that leaves us 4 for the hole. So that's all nice and balanced. So let's put that corner in, and then our hole's going to go this way, so it's going to be the same number as this, which was 5, 4 up, and connect that across. Okay, so you can clearly see our hole for our letter A now. Looking for your corners now, so you've got your internal and external corners. Okay, I've got one here. That needs to go back at least 4. Going to bang right into that corner, so that's straight to there. And the same on this bottom corner here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the same as this, it's the same thickness. So we measure the 4 first. Just turn it around the right way around. Now here it's dropped short because of the way the angle is and the number of triangles that we've used. So only go as far as you need to. It's very easy to make a mistake here and just draw that line straight to there, which would make the shape incorrect because you've made it too wide. It's 4 triangles there. So we need to make sure that's the same, remembering then to take the vertical up to where it bangs into the underside of that middle section there. Okay, so that is now correct to our drawing, and all that remains to do is to do the thickening and thinning. Oops. Okay, just have another little check. So inside edges, 2 surfaces thin, 2 surfaces thin, 2 surfaces thin. And then where we've got hollowed out sections, remembering just to be careful. 1 surface here, not connected to that one, so thick. Bottom edge is that you can clearly see that surface is connected to that one, so that stays thin, but the top you can't see underneath. You can see this one connected at the top edge. So again, that one's going to be thick, like so. Let's come down to the rest. So these two we can clearly see connected, those two, so they all remain thin. These two thin. This bottom one not connected to the floor, so we can see that surface, so this one has to be a thick. Same for the back one, coming up to join there, like so. And then the top edge here, again, you can only see one surface above, it's not connected to any of the other sides. So again, this one needs to be thick. And the remaining one coming down too. Okay then. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. It's time for you to go away now and have a practice. Please don't remember to subscribe to my channel and have some fun. And join me on my next video where I will be starting to show you how to colour tone the shapes to make them enhanced and quite effective. Okay, see you for now. Bye.